to the bottom of the 4-hour bullish for value gap, and we closed literally right at the bottom of it. We didn't inverse it, but we closed at the bottom. And now price looks like it's really coming down for a previous day low here. Right? We got this huge bearish candle on the 1 hour, huge bearish candle on the 4 hour. Tons of displacement. We closed below this key low on the hourly. And we created a 15-minute bearish breaker, and the breaker block is actually this whole 15-minute opening range, because it's that lowest down close candle there. High, low, higher, high displacement, the lows. So now we do have this 15-minute bearish breaker. Boom, right here. But with the way price is moving right now, we might not see it come back up to that breaker. We might see us come down for that previous day low pretty soon. So yeah, the shorts are completely in control. Huge sell-off. I'd expect a continuation down here. We do have NVIDIA earnings after market close, guys, so just understand that we might see some high volatility. We're going to see some good movement here. But we could end up ranging as we get closer to that earnings, right? The closer we get to NVIDIA earnings, the closer we get to the end of the day, we could range. We also have Trump, who has his cabinet meeting, his first cabinet meeting today. That's been going on. Just a lot of stuff affecting the market right now, and that's, why we saw a huge sell-off and this big dump with a lot of displacement. So now what I'd be waiting for is either a pullback into that 15-minute breaker all the way up here. We even have a small 15-minute fair value gap, or just waiting for internal liquidity sweeps, right? Coming up to grab highs, looking for a 5-minute, 15-minute fair value gap for price to target. We don't really have any 5-minute fair value gaps right now unless we trade all the way back into that opening range and into that 15-minute breaker. So during this session, the way afternoon PA has moved the past few weeks, I'm going to be so conservative during this session, guys, especially with NVIDIA earnings coming out post-market. Right, I'm going to need to see so much conviction and confluence to jump into any trades during this session. And I'm even going to trade evaluation accounts during this just because I want to be very safe this afternoon. Again, I'm not going to risk any of my profits from this morning. We got really solid profits. I'm keeping that. Not going to risk that during this afternoon session. So we'll see what happens here. I want to see a continuation down. I want to see the short step in. Just depends if we're going to get some good movement or not, right? How much pullback are we going to get? Is the market going to move with more distribution, or is the market going to continue to range? So that's kind of what we have to wait to see right now. So on the 1-minute time frame here, we trade into a 1-minute SIBI, and now we're trying to inverse a 1-minute busy here. But just trusting the 1 minute right now is not enough for me to really have conviction to jump into a trade. But if we do look back, we've had some nice 1-minute fair value gaps that we've been respecting, that we've traded into and continued lower. Right, but right now I really want to look at the 5-minute and the 15-minute to see some real setups. Okay, we're not just going to try to chase these shorts. Obviously the shorts are in play right now. Very strong, or I should say very weak market here, really dumping. But we don't want to get caught in a 1-minute trap. Right, we don't want to get caught in a 1-minute trap where we end up just kind of ranging back and forth. Especially in the new 4-hour candle, new 1-hour candle. I don't really want to get trapped by this price action. We did just inverse 2 1-minute bullish for value gaps right here, but I don't trust this just right now. Just because we haven't traded into a 5-minute level. We haven't really traded into a 15-minute level. We're still respecting a 15-minute bullish for value gap down here. If you guys see this level here, we're just kind of chilling in this 15-minute busy right now. Right, so we'd really want to see inversion of that 15-minute busy. Obviously, the shorts still look really good. But I'm not going to get trapped by the 1-minute time frame. Even if it does look like we have a good, model here for the shorts, I still want to see some more. I still want to see internal liquidity sweeps. 5-minute imbalances generated. So that's what I'll wait for right now. Again, I've already got my profit on the day. I'm trading eval accounts, so I am completely okay with sitting on the sideline here. Just staying very patient, not trying to force trades right now. Just really waiting for a real A+ setup. We just created a 1 minute civvy here. How are you guys doing on the day though? Who caught that short or that long with me this morning? Who caught that long with me this morning, guys? Pretty nice trade. You know what's so crazy, that manipulation today? We had like a really solid entry in the longs. We got our opening range breakout entry all the way down here. Like all the way right here at this 15-minute opening range. We got TP, we took a few TPs, and price actually came back down and manipulated. Look how many ticks. I think it was over 400 ticks of manipulation. This keeps grabbing this. Look at up here. That manipulation was 403 ticks. That came back down. It barely tapped my break even. After obviously we secured profit already. But look at that. It barely grabbed me, my break even there, and then it shot up to that TP. So you don't, that's kind of what you see with more low volume days like this, right? You see really crazy manipulation moves. Like when we see price move 400 ticks in our direction and we have previous day high resting above, typically we're going to expect that one to continue all the way up to previous day high without retracing 400 ticks. But the good thing is we still secured profit, we still grabbed a winning trade, and that's all that mattered. All right, these shorts are really selling off here. Looks like we're going to get continuation down to that previous day low. See if we have any internal lows. No, not really any internal liquidity right now. Looks like these shorts will continue here. So this is the same exact thing we've seen in the market the past few days, right? Which we didn't see it this morning. We saw a little bit of a recovery this morning. And even with that recovery, even with that bullish price action, price is still dumping like crazy. Dumping like crazy. So pretty wild. Now we're still in our previous day range, right? We haven't taken out previous day high. We haven't taken out previous day low. So it's not, honestly, not too much of a dump, but it's still, the market's still moving down right now. And if we look at our companies here, Apple down 3%. Tesla ended up tanking the market a little bit, down almost 4.5%. Nvidia is looking good going into earnings, though. Right, still up over 1%. But then we look at the VIX, and the VIX is up 3% here, and all of our indices turned bearish, right? All our indices went from very bullish this morning to completely flipping to bearish, and that's when we've seen this huge move coming down. There we go, guys. Glad you guys caught that banger this morning with me. Hey, there you go, Alpha. From 398. Let's go, bro. Let's go. All right, we got a little 1 minute civvy here. Right, so we are in silver bullet hours, so we can expect some good movement out of these 1 minute imbalances. But the way the market's been moving today makes me a little bit more cautious to take 1 minute entries. Right, as much as I'd want to take that 1 minute entry, definitely, the market's definitely keeping me away from wanting to take 1 minute entries with the kind of manipulation we've seen so far today. I really want to see better internal structure here. Right, good liquidity sweeps and so forth. Right now, we're not really creating any fair value gaps on our 5 or 15 minute time frames. We're just kind of chilling here in this 1 minute fair value gap. So again, while we're still just kind of sitting in this 15 minute fair value gap and we're stalling down here, I don't really want to take the shorts yet. If we get inversion of that 15 minute, then I think we will for sure head down for that previous day low. But it's going to be all about timing these shorts. We want to be able to time these shorts really good. So still kind of stalling at this 1 minute right now. Still respecting that 1 minute civvy. we could very easily head back up for the internal highs here and get some range. So whenever I don't see good levels on my 5-minute and 15-minute time frame, definitely keeps me out of taking a trade. Right? Obviously the 1 minute was looking good, but there's just so much stalling down here. And when I don't see good levels on my 15 and 5, as I'm talking about, I'd much rather sit on the sideline here until we see a really good, really good A+ setup. So if we need to keep waiting for an A+ setup, we'll keep waiting. As I said before, though, the closer we do get to NVIDIA earnings, we might start seeing some more range in this market. Just inverse that 1 minute. This is why I don't like taking that low probability fair value gap right there. All the way down here. Just not really trusting the 1 minute time frame yet. Yeah, so I mean our nearest 15-minute fair value gap is all the way up here. That's our nearest 15-minute bearish fair value gap right there. Our nearest 5-minute bearish fair value gap is all the way above the order block up top. So we don't really have too many levels here for price to react off of on a move back up. But order flow is still so bearish right now. Overall, still very bearish. Let's see if we end up getting a little reversal pattern here. If we inverse that 1 minute SIBI, close above this high, and want to actually get some real retracement. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at here. As long as we don't have 5 or 15-minute levels right now to base my entries off of, I won't be taking a trade. Because I just consider taking 1 minute entries right now not really what I want to do. It's lower probability, not A+ setup. Now we could still look to take trades that, you know, maybe are more like a B+ setup, maybe like a, you know, a B setup that doesn't have as much confluence, and we could still look for that, but that's not really what I want to look to do just yet. Pretty good reaction out of that 1 minute SIBI up there. If we run through this 1 minute IFEG, we'll probably start seeing some continuation down. Really long wick there on the 5 minute. Right, but this 15 minutes about to close, and it's still not inversing that 15-minute busy that we're sitting in right now. Right, so our only 15-minute level that we have right now, we're not inversing it. We're seeing a reaction out of it. Plus, we have a 15-minute order block down here. So fair value gap order block means that we have a really strong level that could hold us up. See how that 4 hours looking right now. We're just still kind of stalling here. And here's the other thing, guys. Remember that 4 hour busy that we did not close below? We never closed below that 4 hour busy. So if we got inversion of that 4 hour busy, then we might have seen some more sell off pretty quick. Now we're generating a bearish order block on the 15. Right, so something that we could actually base a trade around. Having a 5-minute order block gives us some more conviction, right? Gives us a little bit more confluence in taking a trade, whereas just looking at the 1 minute doesn't give us as much confluence. So right now, you really just got to stay patient, stay very conservative here. This is that low volume price action that's easy to get trapped in. It's easy to get manipulated. Easy to fall for some tricks. We just want to stay patient and not give in to the manipulation. We're starting to get a little bit more momentum down again. Looks like we'll chop and range for a little bit longer before doing anything else. All right, kind of probably something similar to up here, where we see this kind of chop in this range, low volume, before we break out. All right, so what we don't want to do right now is give back any profits or take, you know, trades that without a strong rationale for taking them, without real conviction. Because this is that kind of PA where you start to chase it a little bit, and you're just kind of hoping that your trade works out instead of really having conviction in your trade, in your setup. And that's when you tend to get stopped out and start over trading a little bit because of the back and forth, up and down price action here. You start chasing the longs every time the longs start going. You start chasing the shorts every time the shorts start going. And then price comes back really aggressively. You end up getting stopped out pretty consistently. Before you know it, you're hitting your drawdown. This is that exact price action that we're seeing right now. That's what we don't want to fall for here. This can be account killing price action right here. And that's why we wait for 5 and 15 minute confirmation. You guys are pretty quiet this afternoon. How we feeling, guys? We feeling all right? We feeling all right? We feeling good? I know it's been a rough week, but today's been a pretty nice day. Feeling sad for NQ. Yeah, NQ's taking a beating. NQ is absolutely dumping this week. Yeah, of course, Alan. Yeah, shoot me a DM whenever. I'll get back to you after the session. Nvidia literally is the only thing holding up this market right now at all. If it weren't for Nvidia, this market would be absolutely in the dumps. I mean, it already is completely dumping, but Nvidia is really the last hope. Nvidia's NQ's last hope right now to give any bullish sentiment in the market. Passed 100K combine, then accidentally traded and went over 700. Lost too much. Dude, that's so frustrating. Alright, well that's not bad. 300 is doable. 300 is very doable. I've done that before, man. I've passed accounts or hitting my limit of, consistency limit, and then I accidentally jump into a trade and then I end up losing it. I've done that before where I've actually done that exact thing and I ended up losing money on the trade, and then I ended up blowing the account after already passing it. And that's really frustrating. That's because I couldn't handle my emotions at the time. As long as you can keep an even keel mindset, 300 is not a big deal. It's very doable. Don't do what I did. That was probably one of the most frustrating times when I was because that's when I was really first starting to pass accounts and stuff, and I could not believe I did that. I was so mad at myself. Let's see if we get a little 1 minute bullish breaker and see some pullback here. See price head up for that 15 minute. We're about to get some inversion here. Let's see if we get a close above. No displacement above those highs. but we did get some nice inversions. We have a 1 minute IFEG. How long till I really started passing combines? It took me until I started passing combines. That probably took me like 6 months to really start like passing. Maybe 6 months to a year to start really passing combines. But consistently and then actually receiving payouts took 2 years. It took like 1.5 to 2 years to just be super consistent with it. But I was able to start kind of passing accounts and getting funded accounts after about 6 months to a year. But I wasn't able to actually make any money, and I wasn't able to hold on to those accounts because I didn't have the discipline. Like, I knew how to pass accounts, I knew how to trade decently, but I didn't have that next level mental discipline like I do now that allowed me to really get to the next level. Alright guys, we have a little 1 minute breaker forming here. Little 1 minute breaker block. Looks like we might want to get some movement back up. Possibly go trade into that 15 minute busy or SIBI just above us. That's our bullish breaker on the 1 minute here. We're going to have a 1 minute bullish unicorn. It doesn't look like we really want to come back though. Looks like we might just want to keep fighting through, but I'm waiting for displacement here. Right, I've been waiting for us to close above that high so that we can actually have the breaker block. Right now, we probably won't come back with this momentum we're seeing right now. Looks like we won't get movement back to that breaker block. Looks like we'll try to head up to that 15 minute SIBI above. 15 minute or a 5 minute order block up there as well. And then we do have that 15 minute breaker up here. So we might be coming up to test those levels. I wanted to start looking for this little 1 minute reversal, but you got to wait for displacement, right? So I was waiting for displacement above this high. And by the time we did displace, price had already moved, right? So we closed all the way up here, which is about 82 ticks away. Or let's see, from the high, about 60 ticks away from where I'd be looking for an entry, right? So whenever that happens, you just have to be like, okay, well, I was waiting, I was staying patient, I was waiting for my setup. Well, if price runs away, then I'm going to wait and see if it comes back, and if it doesn't, then I'm just going to wait for the next move. Yeah, so that 15 minute SIBI and 5 minute order block are really the only next levels I'm looking at here. We have liquidity right here. And then I'd be looking up into that 15 minute breaker, bearish breaker above if price really does want to retrace that much. Right, we're still respecting that 4 hour imbalance, respecting that 15 minute imbalance. Price is getting an internal reversal model with that 1 minute breaker. Alright, so we're tapping into a 1 minute fair value gap here, but we're coming down pretty aggressively. Back into this order block, back into this breaker. If we do see a nice reaction out of here, I would start looking for longs, but we want to be careful because we are pretty range bound right now. And what does that mean? That means we still could see price just run through that breaker, but if we see a nice reaction out of here, I'll look for a long. Right, to take us up to that 15 minute SIBI up top. Let's see what happens here. Where does this 1 minute end up closing? We're holding this level pretty good, but still hard to trust this right now. Alright, so now we're really coming down to test that breaker, to test that unicorn. I'm not trusting this momentum yet. I would really need to see a good reaction out of here. This one's, again, if you wanted to be a little more aggressive, you could take the longs from here. Right, we did tag that unicorn. We're seeing a good reaction out of there. We're seeing a really good reaction out of that unicorn model so far. Longs look pretty good off this 1 minute. See, 5 minute close pretty good there. Right, so I do like the longs from here. I think these longs will start breaking out here. heading up to that 15-minute. Just definitely harder to trust this PA on the 1 minute time frame. But we are delivering out of a 4-hour fair value gap and a 15-minute bullish fair value gap, right? We did form an internal 1 minute reversal model with a bullish unicorn, and we're seeing price really reacting out of that unicorn. But overall, we got to look at our overall trend and higher time frame analysis. We are still very bearish on the day, so I would really be looking for more of a. This would be more of a quick scalp up to that 15-minute SIBI, possibly up to that 15-minute breaker, rather than looking for this one to fully reverse to the longs. Right, and I like the reversal model here. I do like this. I like this entry model. I just don't like the range kind of bound price action that we're seeing here. But as of right now, looks like we'll start heading up from here. Yeah, so here's the thing that I think about when it comes to evaluations compared to funded accounts, guys. I think it's okay to be more aggressive on evaluation accounts. I think it's okay to maybe size up a little bit and be more aggressive, right? I'm completely okay with that, especially if you're really good at, like you said, Alpha, you're able to pass 100K combines in 2 days, right? Because you're probably being more aggressive, you're taking the right trades. But when it comes to a funded account, you have to switch the way you trade. And that's why I usually talk about trading consistently no matter what. But I'm okay if you're good at passing combines, if you're good at being aggressive on the combine situation or the eval, that's cool. But the thing is, when it comes down to the funded, that's a long-term account, right? The funded account is long-term. So we should not be playing as aggressive on our funded accounts because it's really easy to blow those accounts because our emotions are more attached now. Because now we're thinking about the payout. Whereas on the eval, it's much easier to detach your emotions because you're not really looking for a payout. You're just looking to pass the account. So it's much easier to control your emotions and size up a little bit. But when it comes to the funded, your emotions start to take control and you start focusing on the payout. So I think it's okay to size up when you're trying to pass an eval. It's okay to get aggressive. But when it comes to your funded, you want to size down and you want to be really conservative. Because you shouldn't be focused on getting a payout in 1 week or getting a payout in a few days. You should be focusing on getting a payout after a month or 2 months or whatever that is. And hopefully holding on to that funded account for a very long time, right? So if you break it down that way and you think to yourself, well, I don't really, I can get a payout in 2 months. Let's say I want to get a payout in 2 months and I want to get my account to, let's say, $5,000, right? If you divide 5,000 by, let's say, 20, in 2 months, let's just say you have 40 trading days. 5,000 divided by 40, that puts you at $125 in profit a day. Now, you obviously have to put in your losing days. So let's just say you lose, 2 out of the 5 days of the week. So you're winning 3 days, you're losing 2 days. Now you can start shooting for, let's say, $300 in profit a day. And if you do 300, so if you have 2 losing days a week for 8 weeks, right? That's going to be 16 losing days throughout those 8 weeks, right? So if you multiply, let's say you keep your losses under 150. So 16 times 150. So you're going to lose 2,400 overall from your losing days, right? But the rest of those are going to be winning days. So you do 3 times 8 weeks, you're going to have 24 winning days. And if you can do, let's say, 300 in profit for those winning days, that's going to be 7,200. Subtract 2,400 there, and that's $4,800 in 2 months, right? So it's rough math, but if you think about it, if you're being consistent and you're not trying to make $1,000 a day, you're not trying to make $2,000 a day, but you're consistently just trying to make a few $100, and you're keeping your risk light, it's gonna take a month or two, maybe 3 months. It doesn't, it might be quicker because you might have certain days where you do really good and you're able to make a lot of money, and that just gets you to your goal sooner. But at the end of the day, you got to be more conservative when it comes to the funded, and because we're focused on the long term. But I'm not against being more aggressive on the eval stage, right? I am against it if you're not following rules. right? If you're going completely against any real risk management plan, you don't really know what you're doing, and you're just you're sizing up super aggressively, I'm against that. But if you have a really good system and you know that you can keep your risk management tight on a eval account, even with sizing up a little bit, and you can pass those accounts quicker, that's fine, right? I'm cool with that. I think that's not a bad idea. But what people do is they do the same exact thing on an eval that they do on a funded, and they end up blowing their funded after 2 days because they're over risking, because now the emotions are completely tied to your trading. So, like, let's say, for example, I'll trade some 50K evals, and let's say I trade 1 to 2 minis with those evals, and I pass them pretty quick because I'm being more aggressive. I'm sizing up more. I can afford it, right? So let's say I pass those. Once I get to funded with those 50K evals, I'm not going to be trading probably more than 4 to 5 micros on those accounts, right? Because I'm in it for the long term with 50K accounts. With funded accounts, it's a long-term play, right? And it just depends how much you can afford, how much how well do you have your risk management dialed in, how well do you have your entries dialed in. But I think it's always a bad idea to oversize or to size up on a funded account. It's always a better idea to trade smaller and play the long term, man. Because if you think about it, even after having consecutive losing days, not trading well, you can still have your funded account after a month of trading really bad because you've been trading super small, right? And you didn't over leverage and blow your account in a week. So that's what I think is a really good way to go about trading evals compared to funded. That's just my 2 cents. Longs still look good right now, guys, but we are just kind of chopping and ranging here. We're still holding that 1 minute unicorn. I still think the longs look good, but I don't really like trading this choppy price action right here. And not being able to handle a losing day or trade even fundeds are way harder mentally. Exactly. Yep, 100%, Max. Yeah, exactly. If you're over leveraging, you're going to be breaking that 30% rule. Yeah, 100%. Of course, man. Yeah, and I know the reason that I always talk about trading evals and fundeds the same way is because most people, when they start trading, they don't have the discipline to be able to be more aggressive on an eval account, because they're still emotionally attached to that eval account, to the output, the outcome of their trades. But I know some of you are at the level with your discipline right now where you can be more aggressive on the evals, right? And it's okay, right? I know some of you guys are at that level. Some of you might not be, so it's probably still not a good idea to be aggressive or size up on your eval. So it's kind of, you have to evaluate yourself and where you're at in your trading and think to yourself, am I at the point where I can size up a little bit and try to pass evals quicker? Or am I still really struggling with my discipline, and should I still size down for a little bit longer, right? That's what I would think about. Top Step X has an awesome feature to lock out for once you hit your... Yes, exactly. Once you hit your personal loss limit or your daily profit goal, the lockout feature is awesome, man. Lockout feature is so key for so many people. I think that could be very helpful for a lot of traders. If you can lock yourself out after hitting that loss limit or hitting that daily profit goal, man, that's like the best thing ever. Because now it keeps you from going and making those dumb mistakes that everybody makes. Mario said, for the first time, you're eligible for a payout with Top Step wanting to grow a bit more oversized and ended up blowing it. Yeah, man, and trust me, dude, I've been in that situation as well. Any situation you guys can think of when it comes to your trading, I've probably been there. Probably been there before. Because you get all excited, you get a little bit greedy, right? You're like, oh, I can get a payout, but I could just get a little bit bigger of a payout. I'd be so much more happy. And I've been there. I've blown accounts after getting to a payout level before. And it's one of the most frustrating things in the world, right? Because you know that you could have taken the payout and you would have been happy. But like you said, it is just a step in this journey. It's something that you just have to fight through, that you have to learn from. And I know that you will be a better trader for it. As frustrated and as angry as you might be right now at yourself, now you know the next time you get to a payout level, you are going to take the payout, right? You're going to take the payout. You're not even going to second guess it because you learned from your mistake, right? And we all have to go through it. Yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing, right? If you haven't had a payout before, I would recommend the second you get to that payout level, I don't care how much money it is, think about giving yourself a little payout, because having that feeling of receiving a payout is definitely going to change your mindset. Once you see it hit your bank account, you're like, oh wow, wait, this is actually real. Like, I just made some real money. And it does actually change your mindset a lot, more than you'd think. Even if it's $100, even if it's $200, just seeing that money hit your bank account and seeing some results from the work you've been putting in is really good. So I would think about that. If you haven't gotten a payout and you do get to that point where you could even pull out $200, think about maybe pulling it out and just securing it and feeling that feeling, right? It's a pretty cool feeling to have if you haven't had it before. Yeah, take the payout. And again, what you can always do as well is you take a payout and you still give yourself room to trade with that account, right? Or if you wanted to, you could always take the payout and liquidate the account. That's up to you. But however much money it is, and you could always reinvest some of that money back into your trading if you wanted to. That's what I used to do is take a payout and put it back in and buy some more accounts, but keep cash for myself. Right? Keep some cash for myself and then put some more money back in and buy some more accounts and start the process over again. But I still think it's good to hold on to funded accounts and not completely liquidate them. I think it's a good idea to try to hold on to them and continuously get payouts because, again, sometimes the eval feature, that step can be a little bit difficult to get back through. So it's good to continue to hang on to your funded accounts and continuously get payouts from them. Made 6K in your FFN funded, took $1,500 payout instead of the whole thing, and I didn't know I had to wait for Powell to stop speaking. Yeah, that's frustrating. That's frustrating, Delilah. I completely understand that. Yeah, I mean, again, the good thing is, the silver lining there is that you still did get a payout, right? You still did make $1,500. And as tough as that is, that you did have more money, that's still awesome, right? Being able to receive $1,500 is still awesome. That's still good money. And now, again, as I always say, we learn from it. You learn from the mistake, and you move on, right? And even if you didn't know about it, you still now you know, right? And now you learn from it, and now you get to go back and grow another account. And once you have that 6K again or that 5K, you take it all out. And now you're securing more and more profits, securing bigger payouts. What's up, Savage? No trades this afternoon. Talked about this little 1-minute bullish breaker or bullish unicorn model here. But we've been super choppy, and yes, we have seen a really good reaction out of here. But I haven't really liked this PA so far with this chop. Obviously, this trade still looks very good. Longs are still looking good. I don't know if... Did any of you guys take the longs here? Did you guys take that unicorn entry model there? Still looking pretty good here. And this one has hit over 130 ticks. It's hit 135 ticks from that unicorn, so it's still pretty decent there. Wanted to go live with Tradeify. I've heard Tradeify is a really good firm. I've never used them before, but they do take traders live. That's cool. Oh, yeah. So I was just talking about taking payouts, right? And I was saying if you haven't ever had a payout before and you get to the point where you could pay out, you could pay yourself maybe a few $100. I think it's good to take that payout and just understand what that feeling is like. See that money hit your bank account. It's an amazing feeling, and it's going to give you that confidence to, to start getting more payouts. But some people do, and we've talked about it, some people struggle with this, is you get to that payout level, and then you keep trying to grow, and then you have a really bad blow-up day, and you end up blowing all of it, when you could have secured some profit and paid yourself a little bit. Hey, there you go. Third payout, March 1st. Let's go. Congratulations, Delilah. That's awesome. If you can get a couple payouts, you can scale that Yeesh. Yes, exactly. That's the thing. Like, once you do start getting some consistent payouts from an account or multiple accounts, you start really getting more confident in your trading. You start getting it's kind of like a whole mindset shift once you start getting a few payouts, and you can really start to scale those accounts, right? As long as you keep it small and consistent. You keep your losses small, you keep your winners big. Right? It's all about the long term, it's all about scaling. Alright, so longs are still going. Obviously, it's been kind of a slow chop up to this 15-minute up here. But we're making our way up there. We're making our way up there. This is kind of like the trade we took this morning, where we got in the longs at a really good time. We chopped around for a very long time, and then we finally broke, and we took our TP once we hit that high. Right? Where was that trade? Right here, right? We got in the trade right around here. We ended up chopping this whole time, held all the way through, and then we finally broke up here for our TP. Very similar on this trade right now. Just a lot of chop, but still moving in the right direction. Still moving in the right direction. Right, so if I did take this position, if we had a little bit better price action here, I'd probably be looking to secure a profit up in this 15-minute fair value gap. Right, or even once we hit this 5-minute order block right here, securing some profit here would be good. There's that good TP level right there. Now, obviously, I mean, I would secure profit here myself because, again, that is 160 plus ticks, right? And then I would keep holding with my stop at break even, waiting for us to come up into this 15-minute bearish breaker and possibly up into this high right here because we do have a 15-minute unicorn fair value gap up there as well. Or, again, you can always look to take a full TP here. We're about to close on the 15-minute. So we will see if we do get inversion of this 15-minute SIBI. This is a key level. If we don't inverse that 15-minute, then we might see price head back down again. So I'd be looking for this inversion right now. We've got less than 2 minutes until close. But this could be a point, right? We finally hit a 5-minute order block. Finally hit a 15-minute fair value gap. That's where we'd expect some kind of reaction, right? We'd expect price to possibly pull back from that level. So securing TP is really good here. And then looking to see if we do get continuation. If we inverse that 15-minute, head up to that 15-minute bearish breaker and into this 15-minute bearish unicorn fair value gap. But overall, we still look pretty bearish. I'm still expecting price to try to drop a little bit going into the end of the day. But very nice reversal model there. Very nice unicorn model. There you go, Max. Hey, that's still a great trade, man. 155 ticks with 1 con. Still a great trade. And that's a good level to take TP. That's still a good level to take TP. Because look at that reaction we're seeing out of that 15-minute right now. Right, this is what I was talking about. That's why that 15-minute fair value gap was the first TP level. And then now that we're seeing that we're not going to inverse that 15-minute, or at least it doesn't look like we will, price could very easily start heading back down from here. So we have this 5-minute down here, a little 5-minute busy. And it looks like we'll close below, respecting the 15-minute bearish fair value gap up there, which means we could see price start to head back down. All right, so look what we did. We closed, wicked into the 15-minute, respected it. Wicked into the 5-minute order block, respected it. We do have a 5-minute bullish order block here with this down close candle, strong close above. So we're still seeing some bullish structure right now. But we did leave behind a lot of low resistance liquidity right here. Right, all of this low resistance liquidity we could very easily start heading back for. So good trade for anybody that did take that entry. Very nice longs right there. See if this one's going to start heading back down here. So now we have 15 minutes until our new hour. We're forming an hourly SIBI up here. So we could see price kind of hover around this level for a little while. You know, going into the new hourly candle, we could just kind of chill here and then end up trading into that hourly SIBI before selling off again. But that reaction out of the 4-hour busy here and this 4-hour bullish candle right now is telling me we could still see some recovery, some movement back up. Just depends how much reaction we get off this 15-minute, if we're still going to try to fight through it or if we're going to start to reverse. So yeah, still holding this bullish structure. Let's look over at ES here. We have that same breaker block on ES. Right here, same breaker right there. Same 15-minute fair value gap right here. Again, right when we trade into that 15-minute, instant rejection out of that level. Instant rejection out of that 15-minute right there. So it looks like it's really holding us down. But with this choppy price action here, low volume choppy price action, I probably won't take any entries right now. Right? This is the only one I thought about taking, but just seeing that PA that we had just made me kind of want to stay out of it. You know, even though it was a good trade, it was a good setup, good model there. I want to trade with better price action. So we'll see if we come down. Looks like we might start coming down for all this low resistance liquidity here. We just created a bearish order block on the 1 minute. Right there, 1 minute bearish OB. Looks like we'll come back down for all this liquidity. But just still so choppy. We'll see if this order block holds. Right, and like I said before, since we're creating a 1 hour bearish fair value gap right above, we could very easily just kind of stall here, waiting for that fair value gap to form, and trade back into that level before selling off again. Let's go, Tony. Of course, man. 16K across 5 fundeds, bro. That's huge. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Congrats, man. Woo, 16K day, man. That must feel nice. Let's go. Yeah, bro. Don't give that profit back, man. Don't give that profit back. That is beautiful. You too, man. Take care. Okay, so I like this 1 minute bearish order block. We're now in our macro here. So let's see if we start getting some more volume. Looks like we'll probably keep stalling here for a little bit. Did anybody else end up taking that long entry? Was it just Max that took that long entry? And if you didn't take the entry, why didn't you take the entry? Was it the same reason as me? Was it a different reason? Because I'm chicken. Come on, man. Can't be fearful to lose. That's what sets us back. All right, here we go. Going for that low resistance liquidity here. Now that we're in the macro, we might start seeing some better movement. Dang, Fabio. Bro, what? That's today? Did you just make over 100 grand today? Bro, Fabio is just waiting. Dang, bro. Still, that's nice. What evals were those? Were those 300Ks? Apex 300. Nice, dude. Let's go. 5 300K funded accounts coming your way. That's what we like to see, man. Man, I love seeing all that green. So you just passed all of those today in one day. All right, looks like we'll keep heading down right now. Like I said, we have all this liquidity here. We'll probably come back down for it. We got that little CISD with the bearish order block up here. Nice bearish level to sell off from. Let's go, dude. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see, Fabio. Dude, I just received a letter in the mail from Fast Track Trading about their bankruptcy. And it looks like they might have to pay some people out. I bought 2 accounts with them. And I was like, yeah, I'll try them out. And literally like 5 days later, they shut down. Yeah, that's huge, Fabio. You got to make your money from them before they shut down. Yeah, so right now, guys, I'm going to wait here for the end of the hour. All right, wait and see if we're going to end up trading back into that hourly bearish for value gap up here. See if we're going to get a nice power hour play, or if we're really just going to stall until that... we might just stall, right, until that NVIDIA earnings comes out after market close. Yeah, that's too bad. I guess it was too good to be true. Yeah, so really, like I said, guys, we got about 6 minutes, just about 6 minutes until the hourly candle closes, until we go into power hour. But I'd be completely okay with not taking any trades during this session, just with the way we're, with this low volume price action right now. With NVIDIA earnings coming out post-market. Might be for the best to just kind of sit out of the market for the rest of the day. Obviously, we might see something during power hour. We might see a decent move during power hour. But I would still be very conservative during the end of the day here. Yeah, so tomorrow we'll have some red folder news, so we might see some good volume in the market tomorrow. We got Prelim GDP quarter over quarter. We got unemployment claims, and we got some orange folder, all pre-market. After that, we do have FOMC members speaking. We do have pending home sales. And we have a lot of FOMC members speaking tomorrow, right? You can see this lineup here. All of these guys are speaking. Then going into Friday, really we just have our core PCE price index pre-market. So as I talked about at the start of the week, it's a very light news week this week, but still seeing some good movement in the market, even without any crazy red folder news this week. All right, we are coming down for that sell side liquidity here, trading back into that 1 minute breaker. We haven't traded into it yet. So going into the new hour, I would expect one of two things here. I'm still expecting the shorts to step in. So either we're going to come down and completely inverse this breaker block. All right, this is that move I was talking about here. Anybody take that short position I called out? Anybody? That was a nice CISD with an order block there. I don't know if any of you guys are being more aggressive with your trading during this price action. Obviously, you know I'm being a lot more conservative right now. But look at that. That's that move I just called out. And we're just hitting TP right now. This is where I would take a TP at this low. Boom. That's first TP right there. I mean, that's another move over 140 ticks right there. So, for these shorts to continue, I'd want to see us come down, inverse this 5 minute busy, inverse this 5 minute busy down here as well. Close below the breaker. And look for the shorts to really start selling off back down to the lows. And possibly down to previous day low if price wants to sell off hard enough here. There we go. Look at that move. Look at that move right there. Let's go. Alpha, are you still holding the shorts right now? You still holding? Let's see if we inverse the 5 minutes here. If we see an inversion of the 1 minute breaker in both these 5 minutes, we're not going to come back up. We will not come back up for that hourly. At least I wouldn't expect us to. Hey, that's still nice, man. That's still nice. Mario, I don't really know about Futures Desk, to be honest. Look at that dump, man. Look at that dump. It's 240 ticks right there. So now we're starting to see some real volume, right? We're starting to see some really good movement here. We're getting out of this choppy PA. Looks like we're going to inverse both of those 5 minute busies. We're going to probably inverse this 1 minute breaker. Or we already did inverse the 1 minute breaker. Look at these shorts go. And now we just generated a 1 minute bearish unicorn here. Boom, right here. High, low, higher, high displacement of the lows. We got a 1 minute bearish fair value gap. That's a unicorn fair value gap right there. But I'd be looking for these shorts to come back and take out low of day and possibly really sell off to previous day low if we're going to see enough momentum. We're about to inverse this 5 minute as well. Shorts really stepped in here. So, I mean, we talked about it, right? Perfect TP at that 15 minute. Good entry on those shorts. Now we're into the new hour, so let's see price manipulate up a little bit. We want to see some manipulation up. Trade into the 1 minute unicorn fair value gap up here. Got another 1 minute right there, but I'd want to see us trade up into that unicorn up here. This one might just keep selling off, though. This one might just keep selling off here. So now that I'm seeing some better volume, I think we might see a pretty decent move here for these shorts. Great reaction out of the 15-minute Cibi. Great inversion on the 5 minute and an internal reversal model on the 1 minute time frame. overall bearish sentiment here in this market right now. Nvidia is still holding strong here. Nvidia is still holding strong going into earnings. All right, so we do want to see if we get a reaction out of this first 1 minute fair value gap, but I'd want to see us trade into the unicorn fair value gap up here just for a high probability move. It's way higher probability up here than it is in this 1 minute. This is why I'm not taking that 1 minute fair value gap entry here. So I'm waiting for this unicorn. ES just tapped into the unicorn there. But I'd want to get my entry higher. But now that we have that little S&T, if we do see us really start reacting out of this 1 minute, I would look for an entry lower. I just don't like taking this low of an entry down here. I really want to get an entry from up here in the shorts if we're going to, because I really want to see us test that unicorn fair value gap and get a much better entry with a higher stop loss. Again, this is hourly manipulation here as well. Just waiting for us to form this hourly wick, trade into this hourly or this 1 minute unicorn. We still haven't tapped into it at the moment. But we're seeing a really good reaction out of here. I just still want to wait for some bearish momentum out of this. And I really didn't want to get my entry down here. But if we do see a reaction out of here with the ES tapping into that unicorn, we'll probably see a continuation down. We're also forming a 5 minute SIBI here. Okay, so now if we inverse this 1 minute, we're going down, right? If we inverse this 1 minute right here, we're going to head down. Again, the aggressive entry is out of that 1 minute fair value gap right there, as I talked about. If we get this inversion and we do want to come back and test it, then I would look for the entry lower. I just didn't like taking an entry all the way down here. I wanted to see us tap into that 1 minute unicorn. Got very close, but what we did just do is generate an internal swing high, and we're creating a 5 minute bearish fair value gap up there as well. So we still could see price come back up for that level, but right now we're looking pretty bearish. We just got that 1 minute IFEG there. This one might just start selling off. A lot of bearish momentum right now. Shorts looking juicy here. Shorts looking real juicy. Real juicy. That TP, that first TP level would be 21.6475 for anybody that did take this fair value gap entry. I still want to see if we create this 5 minute fair value gap or trade back into this IFEG here. Alright, I'd like to see us come up for that 5 minute and trade actually tap into the unicorn. That's what I'm waiting for right now. I don't want to have this low of an entry down to the discount of this range. I'd much rather see an entry from up here. But now we have a little 1 minute BPR. IFEG. And bearish fair value gap. But I still want to see us go grab that internal high right now. That's why I'm still waiting for us to grab that internal high. But if we see a good reaction out of this BPR again, I will look for the shorts here from down here. But I still want to see if we can trade up to this level. Just staying extra patient right now. Let's see if we'll actually trade up for that 1 minute unicorn and grab those internal highs. So we're heading back up. This is why I didn't want to take this entry down here. Here we go. Now we're trading into that unicorn, into that breaker. So let's see if we start getting a strong reaction out of this 5 minute, out of this unicorn, out of this breaker block here. That's a good sweep. A lot of momentum here on this move up, which is why I'm still haven't pulled the trigger yet on this entry. Still want to see if this unicorn or breaker is going to hold. Because if we run right through this, then obviously I wouldn't be looking for a short anymore. So for a GUI model, we'd be waiting for inversion of this 1 minute busy down here. For a more aggressive entry, we'd be taking the 1 minute unicorn entry and this internal sweep here. But there's a lot of momentum right now to the upside. That's why I'm still waiting. I like that we're stalling here after sweeping that liquidity and trading into the 5 minute, into the 1 minute unicorn. We're forming another 1 minute busy here. If we start trading through this 1 minute busy, I will look for an entry. But right now we got 1 minute displacement there, so I still want to see us trade through that. Right, we're holding this 1 minute bullish order flow right now. And I want to start seeing us really start reacting. I want to see a reaction out of this level. So far, we haven't seen much of a reaction, which is why I've still sat on the sideline here and haven't pulled the trigger on an entry. Once we see a really good reaction, maybe even an inversion here, that's when I'd like to take the entry. Alright, so this is when I want to start seeing us move down. Wicking above this down close candle. I want to see us close below that down close candle. Look for some inversion here. Just kind of stalling right now. Yeah, so still no reaction yet. Still no entry for me. Pretty strong bullish close on the 5 minute there. But we're still respecting this unicorn and breaker. Right, and the other thing is we reacted right off of that 4-hour busy again, right where we saw that reaction before. We really didn't fight through it. We made a higher low. So we're really not seeing any reaction back down right now. Even with the bearish reversal model, even with the bearish 5-minute fair value gap, we still need to see this one start to head back down. So what we want to see right now is for us to really close below this down close candle on the 1 minute, fight through that, create a bearish order block, and even get inversion here for these shorts to truly step in. Still stalling right here. We've been stalling here for a few minutes. But I like the fact that we have not disrespected our unicorn or our breaker block yet. All right, here we go. This is the close. This is the move I'm looking for right now. Strong close below that down close candle, looking for inversion. If we can get that close, I would start looking for my bearish entry. As long as we keep wicking like this, I'm staying out. Yeah, long wick into that 1 minute, still just kind of stalling. Yeah, so we don't want to get trapped in this PA right now. Get stuck trying to force a trade in this stalling here. Now let's say we close above the breaker. We close above the unicorn. That's when we'd be looking for, or the 5 minute even. That's when we'd be looking for the longs to step back into the top of the range. But yeah, really just a range right now. Doesn't look like we're going to get any breakouts for the moment. Still respecting the unicorn fair value gap. Still respecting the breaker. Let's see if we finally get some inversion. Looks like a decent close incoming here on the 5 minute and on the 1 minute. Okay, that's a pretty solid close right there. On the 5 to 15, the 1 minute time frame. But still, we still haven't inversed, right? Still have not inversed this 1 minute busy yet. That's why I'm still waiting right now. The chop is real, guys. The chop is real over here. All right, we finally got the IFEG there. We still have this 1 minute busy below, but if we start seeing a really good reaction out of this 1 minute IFEG, I start looking for a short. But right now we traded right into this 1 minute and we're starting to pump pretty aggressively back up. Still just kind of caught in this chop here. I do like the idea of these shorts stepping back in. But we're still just caught in this consolidation right now, guys. Still caught in this consolidation. Can't really break out of it. Right, and the closer that we're getting to NVIDIA earnings, the more likely that we're going to keep on ranging and keep on chopping. We've got about 40 minutes left of the market. Yeah, to me, this is still pretty low probability right now. As much as I want to see these shorts step in, just extremely low probability here. Yeah, so I'll give it a little bit more time, see if we're going to get any real move, any real breakout. If not, then I'll just walk away without taking a trade in the afternoon. But I will say the two trades, main trades, the two trades we've called out so far today, during this afternoon, were the longs here, hit TP, the shorts here, hit TP. So both the trades I've called out this afternoon have been pretty solid. Just haven't really wanted to trade it myself. But obviously both of them ended up working out pretty well. This chop is just real bad right now. Yeah, I mean, again, now we're just bouncing between a 1 minute unicorn and a 1 minute busy here. Just kind of got to see who's going to win this battle right now. See if we close above the 5 minute civvy right here. We opened above. We did not close above. Yeah. We'll see what kind of volume we get right now. I'll give it like literally a few more minutes. Looks like volume stepping in a little bit. If we get some decent volume here, I'll still look for a trade. But if we're going to continue in this range for the next few minutes, then I'll just walk away. I'd rather not even, I wouldn't even want to risk right now. With this PA, I don't even want to risk evals. I don't even want to risk that drawdown at all. Unless we see something much better. Yeah, so I'll probably give it, guys, until like 9:25 or 9:25, 3:25. So about 4 more minutes. If we're going to keep seeing this chop, I'm not going to wait around all day. Like I said before, secured my profit this morning on that long we took. Green on the day. Very content with those profits. Five-minute looks like it wants to start moving higher here. We still need to see the 1 minute close above the breaker. And there's the close above the breaker. So it looks like these longs will try to step in here a little bit. Possibly back up to the highs again, back into that 15-minute. But this one still could go either way with this kind of PA right now. This one could still go either way with this type of chop we're seeing. And we could still manipulate back down to grab these lows before heading up. Yeah, so this is pretty much the signature low probability, low volume price action here that I like to stay away from. And I don't care. I know that the longs are starting to look good. I know that the longs are starting to set up here. But I would much rather sit on the sideline, not take any risk right now, than try to force a trade in choppy conditions. And hopefully if you wanted to be aggressive, you took any of the 3 callouts that I've called out so far and made some money. Or 2 callouts, I guess. Plus these longs I was just talking about. All right, and that's when it all comes down to your plan, right? What kind of trader are you? What's your style? And if you wanted to be more aggressive, you didn't mind the conditions of our price action, then cool. You could have taken a few really solid setups, made some money, walked away. And if not, then you got to be very content. The fact that you stayed disciplined not to take trades in conditions that you didn't want to trade in. But here we go. Here's those longs like I was talking about here. Right, we inverse that 5-minute, closed above the 1-minute breaker. Long stepping back into the 15-minute up to the highs. But overall, we've just seen a range this whole session, right? This whole session, we've really just seen us range sideways. And yeah, we've been able to read this PA pretty good. But not really my favorite price action to trade. Good close on the 5-minute there. Right, so there's still decent reward even if you got an entry from here up to that 15-minute, up to those highs. If we do come back and trade into that 1-minute busy here. This one looks like it'll keep expanding though. Did anybody take this long entry? Is anybody being aggressive on any of my callouts this afternoon? Sounds like everybody's kind of chilled out, not really taking entries. Longs. Right back to the top of the range. So once we do reach the top of the range here, be looking for SMT again to see if price wants to head back down, or if we're going to get continuation up at this kind of end-of-day reversal, move back up. But yeah, honestly, guys, I'll probably walk away. I'm going to probably call it a day. Again, I've tried my best to give you guys some good call-outs, even though I'm not taking the entries. Hopefully, you guys have been able to either capitalize on the call-outs or stay patient, stay disciplined, and not take any trades. Hold on to your profits from this morning, however you were playing it. No matter what, should not really be in the red whatsoever today. We've taken one trade, one winning trade for, over 300 ticks. All these call-outs here, pretty profitable call-outs here. So, again, don't go in the last 30 minutes of the markets. Give away all your profits from the day. Start taking dumb trades. My advice would be walking away completely from the charts right now. After such a good day, I would walk away, call it a day, close the computer, come back tomorrow, and ready to do the same thing again tomorrow, right? Staying consistent every day, staying disciplined to the system every single day, no matter what happens. All right, but I'm going to walk away. I appreciate you guys. If you guys did take this long, I'd be looking for TP at this 15-minute SIBI or at this high up here, especially if we get SMT divergence. That's where I'd be looking for TP up here. But, of course, Greg, got you, man. Appreciate you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. Great job today. Continue to stay disciplined. And, yeah, God bless, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.